How much can one young career endure before the weight of expectation and the cruelty of fate become too heavy to bear? Isn't it heartbreaking to witness a talent so bright, repeatedly dimmed by the very physical demands of the game they love? Welcome, fans, to a story that cuts right to the core of what it means to be an athlete, a narrative woven with threads of immense dedication, agonizing setbacks, and a looming question mark that hangs over one of hockey's most promising young stars. We're talking about Kirby Dach, the Montreal Canadiens forward, whose journey has become a stark reminder of the brutal toll the sport can take. For the past 2 years, Dach's right knee has been a battleground, a site of repeated trauma that has left him sidelined, frustrated, and now facing perhaps the most critical crossroads of his burgeoning career. Just when we thought the worst was behind him, a bombshell dropped. In an exclusive interview with Sportsnet's Eric Engels, Dach himself confirmed what many feared but few dared to voice. He retore his anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, in February. That's right, the same ACL, the same knee that had already been put through the grinder. The news sends a shiver down the spine of anyone who understands the severity of such an injury, let alone its recurrence in such a short span. It's a gut punch, not just for Dach, but for a Canadiens organization that had pinned significant hopes on him as their future second-line center. Let's rewind for a moment to fully grasp the gravity of this situation. The 2023-24 season had barely begun when disaster first struck. In only the second game, Dach went down clutching his right knee. The diagnosis was devastating: torn ACL and MCL. A season-ending injury that ripped him away from the ice, from his teammates, and from the momentum he was building. It was a cruel twist of fate for a player who had finally seemed to find his footing in Montreal, showcasing flashes of the elite talent that made him a high draft pick. The road to recovery was long, arduous, and fraught with the mental and physical challenges inherent in rehabilitating such a severe injury. He dedicated himself to the process, grinding through countless hours of therapy, pushing his body to rebuild, to regain strength, to trust itself again. Then came February. Another incident, another moment of pain, another trip to the medical room. At the time, the exact nature of this second injury remained shrouded in uncertainty. The team was tight-lipped, and while speculation ran rampant, no definitive answers emerged. Until now, Dach's candid revelation to Engels paints a vivid and frankly heartbreaking picture. He knew, he felt it immediately. That sickening pop, that familiar instability, the nightmare was relived in an instant. To experience that once is devastating. To experience it twice to the same critical ligament within such a short time frame must be soul-crushing. This isn't just a physical injury, it's a profound mental and emotional battle. Imagine the psychological fortitude required to push through the grueling rehabilitation of an ACL tear, only to have that progress, that hope shattered once more. The trust an athlete places in their own body is paramount, and a second rupture to the same knee can erode that trust completely. Dach openly admitted to working on the mental aspect of his recovery, and it's easy to see why. Doubts, fears, and the specter of future injuries can haunt even the most resilient competitor. It's a lonely fight, often waged in the quiet confines of a gym, far from the roar of the crowd. But here's where the story takes an even more intriguing and potentially concerning turn. Dach, with a renewed sense of urgency and perhaps a deeper understanding of what's truly at stake, claims he has taken his rehabilitation far more seriously this time around. He's made significant lifestyle changes, prioritizing recovery over leisure, dedicating his summer to getting his body right. His commitment is admirable, a testament to his desire to return to the game he loves and fulfill the immense potential he possesses. Caden Gull, a teammate, has reportedly been impressed by Dach's summer efforts, a sentiment that speaks volumes about the dedication Dach has poured into his comeback. However, dedication, while essential, doesn't always trump biology and the unforgiving timelines of human physiology. The burning question now, the one that should give every fan and every member of the Canadiens management pause, is this: what does this mean for his return to action? If Kirby Dach is indeed in the lineup for the first game of the upcoming season, it would mean he's returning to play less than 8 months after re-tearing his ACL. Let's be unequivocally clear, an 8-month recovery from an ACL tear is considered extremely aggressive, even for a first-time injury, and especially for a professional athlete whose career depends on peak physical performance. For a second tear to the same ligament, it borders on unprecedented in terms of speed. The standard recovery timeline for an ACL reconstruction typically ranges from 9 to 12 months, sometimes even longer, to ensure full graft integration, strength, and crucially, to minimize the risk of re-injury. The first time Dach underwent this surgery, his surgeon reportedly prohibited him from returning to play for a full 8 months. Has something fundamentally changed this time around? Are the medical advancements so rapid that this timeline is now considered safe, or are other factors at play? This accelerated timeline forces us to ask tough questions. Is this a calculated risk based on cutting-edge rehabilitation protocols, or is it a gamble fueled by the immense pressure on a young player and a team desperate for his services? Is Dach making this push for the right reasons, a genuine medically cleared readiness? Or is there an underlying urgency to fill the void at second-line center, a position the Canadiens desperately need him to occupy? The specter of re-injury looms large, and for a player whose knee is already demonstrably fragile, rushing back could have catastrophic consequences, potentially jeopardizing his long-term health and career. The Canadiens organization has invested heavily in Kirby Dach, both in terms of draft capital and the trade assets used to acquire him. Their need for a dynamic, skilled center is undeniable. But at what cost? The story of athletes pushing through pain, defying odds, and making heroic comebacks is inspiring. But there's a fine line between heroism and recklessness. The human body, even one conditioned to elite athleticism, has its limits. Kirby Dach's journey is a microcosm of the brutal beauty of professional sports. It's a testament to the unyielding spirit of an athlete, but also a cautionary tale about the immense pressures and the difficult choices that define careers. As he battles to return, we can only hope that every precaution is being taken, that his long-term health is paramount, and that this incredible talent isn't sacrificed on the altar of a premature comeback. His future, and perhaps the Canadiens' immediate fortunes, hang in the balance, tethered to the strength and resilience of a knee that has already endured so much. What are your thoughts on Kirby Dach's situation? Do you believe the potential reward of an early return outweighs the significant risks, or should caution prevail? Let us know in the comments below, and if you found this report insightful, please hit that like button and share it with fellow fans. Your engagement helps us bring you more in-depth analyses like this.